Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to another video. As always, it's me Ivan, and today we'll be talking about smartwatches. As you know, I'm a regular watch guy, and on a daily basis I wear mostly mechanical watches, and when it comes to quartz watches, I do have quite a few G-Shocks. However, I recently became a bit more serious about going to the gym, which is why I decided that I needed to give smartwatches another go. You see, my biggest concern about these devices is the battery life, which is why I ended up going for the Ticwatch Pro 5 Enduro, as it promises 90 hours of regular use. Before we start talking about the fun stuff, here is a quick look at the packaging. I would say it's similar to what most smartwatches come in. It's a hard paper box in which you'll find your watch, a charging cable, and a bit of paperwork which consists of safety instructions and a user's manual. Alright guys, now I'm going to proceed in the same manner that I do with my regular watch reviews, which means that we are going to start with the dimensions. The Ticwatch 5 Pro Enduro, just like most other smartwatches on the market right now, is a pretty large device. The case diameter is 48mm. The lug-to-lug, which in my opinion is the most important dimension when it comes to wearability, is 53mm. Then we've got the thickness, which is 12.5, while the lug width is 24mm. Finally, the total weight of the watch on the supplied rubber strap is 75 grams. Here's what the watch looks like on my 17cm or 6.7-inch wrist. And in my opinion, it looks really nice. Yes, it's definitely a big thing to have strapped on your wrist, but it looks quite cool, especially when the OLED display is on. In addition, it's super comfortable thanks to the incredibly soft and flexible strap. In fact, I find this Ticwatch a bit more comfortable and without a doubt more wearable than the new Huawei GT5 Pro on its titanium bracelet. Now let's have a quick word about the design and the build quality. The Ticwatch Pro 5 has a pretty traditional watch design with a round display and a crown at 3 o'clock. It basically looks like an oversized watch with a big display instead of a dial. When it comes to the build quality, there is a bit more to talk about. This model is built in compliance with the military standard 810H, which ensures excellent durability. The case is made of stainless steel and 7000 series aluminum alloy, while the display, or shall I say displays, are protected by a piece of flat sapphire crystal. Guys, I've been wearing this watch for a bit more than 2 weeks. I took it to the gym 4 times a week. I also had it on my wrist every single night since I got it, and it still looks brand new. I even scraped it against the wall in my room, and it only got some barely visible marks on the bezel. So yeah, don't worry about the build quality, as it's pretty good. Since I just suggested that this watch has more than one display, let me tell you what I meant by that. You see, in order to achieve 90 hours of battery life, Mooy have come up with this brilliant idea of placing an ultra-low energy display on top of the OLED, and as a huge Casio fan, you can't imagine how much I like it. I basically use it as an always-on display, and it does a great job as such, as it gives you the time, the date, the current step count, the remaining battery, and the last heart rate reading. I don't want to make you wait, so I'm going to tell you straight away that the battery life, in my case, lasts 3 full days of regular use, and I still have about 10% left. By the way, here's what regular use in my case is. I've got all the health tracking features on, which includes continuous HR tracking, SpO2, respiratory rate while sleeping, and temperature monitoring. The only thing I have turned off is stress monitoring. In addition, you should also take into account a couple of gym workouts, which last about 1 hour each, and a decent amount of social media notifications. To me, this is an excellent battery life, guys. especially when you compare it to something like the Samsung Watch. Not to mention that if you turn the continuous HR tracking off, you will definitely reach the advertised 90 hours. And you know, I used to own the Samsung Watch 5 and I had to charge it every single day, which is the reason I sold it rather quickly. Moving on, let's see what this watch is capable of in terms of features. The Ticwatch Pro 5 Enduro runs on the Google Wear OS 4, and because of it, there are quite a lot of things to like here. If you've ever had a watch with a Wear OS, then you'll feel very familiar with the user's interface. Navigating through the menus is super easy and intuitive. You can do so by using the touchscreen and by using the crown. And let me tell you, using the crown is such a joy as the haptic feedback is really good. Then there is the upper button, which you can program to open any app, and by default it is set to access the list with the different workout modes. To me, the biggest advantage of this OS is the way it handles notifications. For example, in WhatsApp, I can open images and listen to voice messages, and in Gmail, I can read the whole thing, while in non-Wear OS watches like my Huawei, you can't do any of that. Basically, what I'm saying is that Wear OS handles notifications much better than smartwatches with a different operating system. When it comes to health tracking and fitness features, the Pro 5 Enduro offers everything you need. As I mentioned a moment ago, it tracks your heart rate, your SpO2, changes in your body temperature and breathing while sleeping. Of course, it can also track your stress levels, your daily steps, and it even gives you an estimation of your VO2 max. When it comes to the accuracy of the data collected, I'm not an expert and I haven't compared it to any professional devices, but my impression is that the heart rate reading is very accurate. The sleeping score seems about right as well, and very similar to what I've been getting from other devices, such as my Ultra Human Ring Air. The onboard GPS also seems to work very well and very accurately. Acquiring signal takes just a few seconds. I've only used it for going for a walk a couple of times, and I also did a bit of cycling, but so far, no issues whatsoever. The step count seemed a bit generous in a few occasions, but besides that, this watch is doing a pretty good job at tracking the basics. But again, that's just my impression, so take it for what it's worth. Last but not least, we need to mention the Mooy app, which you need to install on your Android smartphone. It's very simple and very easy to use. The reason I like it is because there is no unnecessary BS. The information it gives you is pretty straightforward, and the number of health advices it gives you is minimum, which is something that I appreciate very much. Then, there is also the device tab from where you can access some of the watch settings, as well as organize your watch faces. The only thing I can point out is that in the morning, after I wake up, it takes about 5 to 10 minutes to sync the sleep data. Besides that, I haven't experienced any bugs or crashes. So there you have it, guys. The Ticwatch Pro 5 Enduro has been great so far. For what I needed to do, it does it great, and I have zero complaints about it. However, there is one thing that needs to be mentioned, which is the lack of Google Assistant. Personally, it's something I couldn't care less about, as I've never used it, and I don't think I ever will. But apparently, it's important to many people. I even have it deactivated on my phone. I know it can be useful and handy in certain situations, but talking to a virtual assistant is just not my thing. On the bright side, Google Wallet is here, and it should work flawlessly, but again, it's something that I don't use either. I would say if you're looking for a Wear OS smartwatch and you can live without Google Assistant, the Ticwatch Pro 5 Enduro is definitely an option. When it comes to battery life, it's without a doubt the best Google powered choice out there, so it definitely deserves some attention. The retail price is about €350, but on Mobvoi's website it's currently on sale for $300, while on Amazon you can grab it for $280. It's right on par with some other interesting watches, like the OnePlus Watch 2, but to me, the battery life and the Casio-like display is what set it apart. As always, this is just my opinion, so feel free to share yours in the comments below. Thank you very much for watching, everyone, take care, and I'll see you in the next one.